Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, good morning, whenever it is that you're checking out this show. It's your boy DC, and this is Out of the Fog. We're a local matter show that covers the best in music, arts, entertainment, business, not-for-profit, you name it. All the passionate movers and doers come on the show, and we're so proud and thankful to have you come by. 2022 is up ahead, but right now it's the last show of 2021, and we're going to kick it off with the brand new song from Sherry Ryan. Check it out.
Is this what I was meant to do? Write lonely, heartbroken songs for you to cry and sing along to all the things that I've done wrong. Think about it hurts somehow, but I guess what I do best now, that's what's coming through loud and clear. Maybe I could bring about a life I dream about. Without a doubt, I'm almost halfway there. Countryside, the river runs down to the tide, and I've been sitting by your side for years. I don't know if it's right or not, it's my first time, or so I thought, and I believe in more every day. I don't see it any other way. A lot of things I couldn't see just throw away or stay in. Even to this day I'm praying, help me stop the games I'm playing. All I got is memories, a lot of possibilities, and I can't lose them even if I try. So I thought, I believe in more every day. And I don't see it any other way. I don't see it any other way. I don't see it any other way.
This is Rogers TV.
Gather your family and friends and join the Zoomer Players for a half hour of the greatest songs ever written.
Unforgettable.
Why, it's almost like being in love.
Clang, clang, clang went the trolley.
What's your favorite song? Well, you'll probably hear it performed on your all-time classic hit parade.
You're watching Rogers TV St. John's.
Welcome back, everybody. How are you doing? It's your boy DC. It's Out of the Fog, and like I mentioned, it's our last episode taping of the year. We got the Christmas vibes going on, and who's hanging out with me right now? The amazing, beautiful, talented Allison Best.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, I'm so glad to see you.
Having us.
I know, exactly, because listen, guys, Allison ain't the only one on the show. take a look at this little babe. What's up, buddy? Now, Hank is a beautiful pet, and it's funny what happens when you're scrolling through the gram. Global Pet Foods, they have a store here in the province, and so the idea came to find petfluencers. Because, in marketing life, it's really cool to be able to have someone who aligns with a brand who can sort of be relatable to the local crowd, So into the local grams we go, and then all of a sudden comes a dwarfable Hank.
Mr. Hank.
Mr. Hank. And so, it's so funny to me how channels can amass so many followers. Are you blown away by...
Oh my God, completely blown away. Yeah. His Instagram just completely took off. And out of a complete surprise to me, but people just love him. I mean, it makes sense.
Well, it's not the
love.
love.
It makes sense, yes.
Well, let's start at the start. Allison Best, as some of you guys watching the show should know and definitely know, is a makeup artist. She has her own business. She makes all the glam happen. How long have you been doing that?
5 years.
No way. Mm-hmm. Seems like yesterday we were doing Carolina East shoot.
Absolutely, yes. That was near the beginning, yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Things have exploded for you since.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Yeah,
I mean, listen,
very blessed.
What's the secret? What's the trick? How do you do it?
Work really, really hard. Work really hard. Put yourself out there. Take risks. Be active on social media is very important.
Yes, I know. I see you.
Just really go out and do your best work.
That's amazing. Well, your work is fantastic.
Thank you.
Everyone freaks out.
Thank you.
I mean, geez, to me, that is some dimensional design. As a graphic artist, you can do one-dimensional stuff all day, but the canvases that you have are three-dimensional. That's a lot.
God, thanks so much.
Yeah, we're all in this art game together.
Absolutely.
So, I'll tell you, entrepreneur, you're busy. You're on the move all the time. When did you make the decision to get pets into your life?
So we got Mr. Hank, it was a little over 6 years ago. And at the time, my partner was working a lot away.
Okay.
So we just got into our first house and, we were like, maybe we should get a dog. I would feel a bit more secure at home by myself.
Sure.
Let's get a big dog. So we settled on a lab after doing some research. I mean, they're amazing animals. So, but the key was we wanted a big, kind of intimidating dog.
Okay.
So then we end up with Hank, who
but how?
has dwarfism.
I know.
And is not a big dog at all.
I mean, wow. How did this come to be? Because it seems like there's the plan, and here's what we did.
So we had, when we got Hank, we had him for a couple months.
Yep.
And we noticed, we just thought he was really good at first. We're like, my God, he's so well behaved. He doesn't run, he doesn't jump. Just thought he was, we hit the jackpot with his behavior, which we did. But then we noticed his legs started looking a little bit funny, and, he was not walking well on a leash, and we just thought he was being stubborn at first. But then we got a bit concerned because his legs looked a bit odd.
Right.
And we brought him to the vet. We had to bring him to a few different vets. And then we got referred to specialist Dr. Bailey, which is a veterinary specialty center here in Newfoundland. She is amazing. And she was the one who was able to diagnose him with dwarfism, which is super rare.
Yeah, I know, I was going to ask.
Super, super, super rare. Not a whole lot is known about it because it is so rare. So yeah, we just went from there, and the rest is history.
Now, is the breed specific to dwarfism? You know what I'm saying?
No, dwarfism can affect any breed. So it's not just because he's a lab. Any breed can get dwarfism, but again, super rare.
That's so sweet. And well behaved.
So good.
Now, has Hank chilled out in his 6 years, or?
He's always been like this.
Yeah?
He has always been so good. When he was 7 months old, he had to have bilateral femoral head osteotomy, which is basically 2 hip surgeries at once. And even through that, which was a very, very intense operation for a 7-month-old dog to have, he had to learn how to walk again and everything. And he has just been so chill, so good, never, always so happy. He's very resilient. I've learned a lot from him.
Well, that's interesting. And a lot of pet owners tell me that, their pets teach them so much.
Absolutely.
And because you're home more, you're with them more. And this brings us to a subject that I think is really interesting, which is the whole therapy dog, therapy pet movement. So working in mental health fields in different sort of client regards as I do, I've learned so much about this. But then lately, it's like out of nowhere, everyone is talking about therapy dogs. Do you know much about this?
Yeah, well, Hank actually did the therapy dog program with St. John Ambulance here in the province. He doesn't actually go into the facilities anymore because his mobility issues are a bit tricky, so it's kind of hard to get him in and out, but he was doing it for about a year. And it was amazing. It was amazing to see the impact he had on residences in the facilities. And because he has mobility issues, which a lot of the residents did as well, they really connected with him, and they totally brightened their day. They'd be like,
so sweet.
"Oh, Hank, buddy, like I got bad hips too," you know, like they really connected with him, which was awesome. But even just for our own mental health, like dogs, cats, any animal is amazing.
Now, does Hank live alone with you both, or is there another pet in the background?
He has a brother, so we adopted a chocolate lab, Diesel, who was his crazy brother, and complete opposites in the term of temperament. I mean, Diesel is also sweet, but just typical chocolate lab, off the walls, crazy. But they really balance each other out. Diesel has really helped Hank become more active, you know, kept him on his feet, keeps him on his toes, and Hank kind of brings him down a couple notches. So
that's the awesome. Best. That's a little duo you got on the go.
They're a cute little duo. Yep.
That's so sweet. Now I'll tell you what, you know, when it comes to Global Pet Foods and enlisting Hank to be the first pet fluencer,
he's so honored.
I mean, listen, you know, if only dogs could talk, you know? Because we have another a pet, Nessie, in PEI as well.
Amazing.
So I mean, to me, like, you know, speaking of Instagram and social media, the pet fluencer demographic and parents of pets who love their pets so much, and the number of people around the world following, loving, commenting, it must crack you up, because it's enough to keep up with your own Instagram and social media. Yeah. And then you got to go in and pop in the Hanks. Like, that's pretty funny, right?
It's amazing. And it's so true what you said about, like, social media is so awesome because it connects you to people around the world. Like, the followers that he has from outside of Canada is just amazing, right? And something you would never expect to happen. And we've made connections with people all over the world. Like, it's absolutely amazing. I mean, it does. It takes a lot of work. It definitely does, but it's so rewarding. And it just makes people happy. Like, I think the world is so heavy right now that sometimes you just want to hop on and see a dog on Instagram living their best life, and, you know, it makes you smile.
So true. Now listen, Hank, you got a 12 Days of Christmas campaign going on now on the website for Global Pet Foods in St. John's, where you can figure out the 12 things that Hank is loving for the holiday season, so go check that out for sure. Now listen, I want to dig in a little bit deeper on the process of applying to become a therapy dog.
Yes.
Because I think a lot of pet owners are out there sitting down, they have the beautiful pet, they know it could be of service, but they're intimidated about the first steps of getting involved in something like this. It's volunteerism, it's mental health, it feels so good.
Yes.
Why don't you let everybody at home know how you went about that?
Yeah, so I contacted St. John Ambulance, and they are the ones who run the therapy dog program here in the province. And you will apply. Your dog or animal has to go through a screening process, I guess, to make sure that they're able to go into facilities and things like that. So there is, it's kind of like a little test that they have to do, which is great. And then you, as the owner, have to get clearance to be a volunteer at the facilities. And then it just goes from there. You create your own hours, you line it up with the facilities, and it's awesome. It's very rewarding. Very, very rewarding.
Oh my God, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So sweet. So listen, thank you so much for hanging out with us today.
Oh, thank you for having us.
And Hank, I'm very happy to meet you, buddy. Love ya. Oh, that's so sweet. Yeah, guys, check out Global Pet Foods. See pictures of Hank all over the shop, as well as the proud mother herself, Allison Best. And speaking of which, again, a reminder, as an entrepreneur, a glam bot in the business world, take your girl up. She's gonna make all of y'all beautiful. And Hank, thank you so much. It's Christmas, baby. Can
Thank you for having us.
Oh my God, come back. I want to see more of Hank in the future for sure. Guys, this is Out of the Fog, and we'll be right back after this break. Look.
It all started when I racked up some serious debt. Interest payments were going up, creditors were calling. Janes and Noseworthy came up with a plan. Knowing that the phone was going to stop ringing and that I was not in this alone was a huge relief. Bankruptcy or a consumer proposal or whatever help you get is not the end. It's just the beginning. A chance to start again with knowledge and support. support, and people in your corner. Are you ready? Get out of debt. It's okay.
Learn more about Leah's story at janesnosworthy.ca.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Out of the Fog. It's your boy DC, and I'm off here like I'm at home on the couch. And the reason is that I feel like I am at home because I'm hanging out with one of my old school G's who I love, Sherry Ryan. What's up?
This is it.
I think that one of the real bonding times we had when we went out to the Music NL conference in Grand Falls, Windsor, years ago.
Oh my God.
Me, you, and Armando. And I think that was when your first album had just come out, or you were preparing to release your first album.
I'd say I had released it because I wouldn't have gone if I hadn't.
Were you showcasing? Because that's why I went out there.
Yeah.
I think maybe we both showcased because our album came out at the same time that yours did. What year?
2005. My first one came out.
Ah, it was 2004. So yeah, roughly that.
So that's
right?
when. That's what we were doing. That's my debut album, Bottom of a Heart.
Yes.
Wow. 2005.
I know we're in the hot tub time machine right now, thinking back on so long ago, and it seems like yesterday, right?
I think me and you and Armando need to go on another road trip.
I think that's the lesson here, is that we got to get in the car and take off and go for a laugh. And listen, I would.
Across the island.
And you've been across the island and beyond ever since, am I right?
Yeah, I've been over to Woody Point and Norris Point and that area 4 times in the past few months.
That's amazing.
Having gigs over there, and I love it over there. So I did a lot of driving in the past few months.
Been to Labrador?
It's a bit of a haul. I was in Labrador last weekend.
What brought you?
I was playing the Arts and Culture Center.
Wow.
Yeah, we did a tour of the Arts and Culture Centers of Newfoundland and Labrador with Flower Hill. It was like a 3-piece bluegrassy country band I play with.
And who's with that?
Andrea Monroe on banjo and Maria Cherwick on the fiddle.
And she just won an award.
And she just won 2 awards at the Music NL celebrations. She won the Trad album.
Yep.
She just put out an album, and she won the side musician.
I know, she's everywhere.
Yeah, so we went to Labrador last weekend and played the Arts and Culture Center there, and my first time in Lab City. It was wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Sherry, I mean, geez, when you think about, being a singer, songwriter, performer your whole life, starting to lean into it more and more, back in 2004, 2005 is when you really put the album out. And it's been a blur of amazingness ever since, am I right?
Yes, yeah. If you choose to focus on the amazingness.
Wow. And it's interesting because you work in a wellness-based industry as well. Does the music that you create come from the clients and people around you that are having their own realities and the stories they tell you? How does that bleed into your music?
I think that there's definitely a spiritual side to my music. There's good messages. There's lots of times I will bring in the idea of, I think of songwriting as maybe an intention, just knowing how would I put it? If you want to put something out there, what better way than to craft a song and sing it over and over and over? If you want something, and attractive, the law of attraction. So songwriting, I think of it that way. So there's always positive messages and healing messages, and my songs can be healing. So that's what I do really in my other work, is the healing arts.
The healing arts.
Musical healing arts.
That's amazing.
I like when I can put it all in the same pot.
I love that too. One feeds the other.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, I've never associated the reality around the iterative value of declaring your want, your intention, your hope, manifesting that by saying it, by focusing on it. And as an artist, to sing and perform a song over and over is a ritual unto itself. I've never connected that before.
It's just starting to connect it recently.
Wow.
With this song that I just did and I released last month, Any Other Way, it starts out with, because I'm single again. The first line is, do I have to write, is this what I have to do, is sing lonely, heartbroken songs, or whatever the lyric is. Right. And then the second verse goes on to, well, maybe I can create a life I want, and it's got a big countryside, and a river runs down to the tide, and that's how I grew up, and I'd love to live in the country. So I figure if I sing that enough, then that's coming to me.
I've got the chills at this. It makes me think of all the songs I've written over the years and how I can start to repeat those over and over again to get the things that I was wanting so much in those songs.
Yeah.
What do you want in your songs? Is it love? Is it peace? What is it?
I want all of it, yeah.
I want to talk about the upcoming album. 2022 is going to be a big year for you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me all about it.
Yeah, so, I am going to be recording with Mark Neary, who you know, who is producing, and we worked a little bit in the past before he played bass on a couple of my albums, and I loved his energy in the studio, so working with him to produce it, and my band, who is Chris Donnelly and Dave Rowe and Brad Power and Brian Cherwick. They're all on this single I released last month. And so we're going to go in right after Christmas, 1st of January, and do that album, and then start touring in the spring, hopefully.
You will.
I think that once we get the ball rolling of looking at the timeline and having it all definite, then that's it. I'll just take off for another stint of touring.
That song is number 3 on the East Coast Countdown right now.
East Coast Top 30 made its debut on Saturday at number 3. So,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it just went right from, it skipped number 4 to 30 and went right to number 3.
So we love that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Those are the thrills of being a musician and getting that recognition, because people who are voting those singles or listening to the tracks and doing their thing, you don't know so many of the people. How does that make you feel?
Oh, it's wonderful, and you just know that there's a lot of people listening to this show, and you see on social media there's so many shares, so it just really is a boost of a presence in Atlantic Canada, which is still, a goal of mine to continue to build that audience.
Yeah, no, of course it is. And we're in our final few seconds here. When folks come to see a Sherry Ryan show, or they seek out to stream or download some Sherry Ryan music, give me some artists they can hear echoes of.
Well, I guess you would...
I say Lucinda Williams is in there.
Yeah, Lucinda Williams, maybe Gillian Welch. She's a little bit maybe under the radar. Yeah.
So many influences.
There's so many influences.
Country, pop, there's some soul in there as well.
Soul, yeah. Like, I had mentions of Carole King on this new stuff that I'm working on, because I do a lot of soul music. Country soul, I guess, would be good.
Guys, check out Sherry Ryan. Google her, find her music, check out her live show, vote for her new single. This is Out of the Fog. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.
I'll see you soon, I hope.
Yes, definitely.
Guys, right back in a few minutes. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Out of the Fog. Thank you so much to makeup artistry queen herself, Allison Best. Thank you so much to Adorable Hank, who is the pet fluencer for Global Pet Foods holiday campaign happening right now. Check out all of what Hank is loving in the 12 Days of Christmas campaign happening on their website and in their social media. That's Global Pet Foods. One more time, an interview with our girl Sherry Ryan. Stop all of the trains. Until we see you guys again next time, this is Out of the Fog. Talk to you soon.
I was a railroad operator in my early days. It was 1957, 58 I'd say. When a call came on the crank phone with a message to relay. Southeast winds were baffling down the mountain range. I knew nothing of the winds out there, and I was all alone. I could hardly hear the stranger crackling on the phone. It was Lucky MacDougall, the human weather vane. Direct line to the station telling me to stop the train. Stop the train. Wreck house winds are blowing, they're blowing mighty fast. Stop the trains, you don't want to let them pass. Hold them at Riverview and Port aux Basques. A highfalutin manager came into town one day. He said one man's authority should never stop a train. They replaced him with a forecast, took away his pay. When the mighty winds picked up a train, they hired him back to stay. Stop the trains from going down the track. Wreck house winds are blowing, they're blowing mighty fast. Stop the trains, you don't want to let them pass. Hold them at Riverview, hold them at Riverview, hold them at Riverview and Port aux Basques.
If you have a comment about this program, we'd love to hear it. Email or call us or